going on in America, dismantling global Hindutva. What is your suggestion to us? What is your guidance to us in this situation?
They've been talking about it for last 800, 900 years. So what about it? They have been talking about dismantling Hindutva or Hinduism for last nearly 1,000 years. We're still here. We must strengthen this. Don't worry about other people doing what they are doing. We must strengthen this. We must make this attractive for people to take on. We must eliminate all the discriminations of caste and creed so that all human beings can live with dignity within the Hindu framework. If we don't do that, of course we are losing people. Dismantling Hindutva is not happening in some university in United States, I don't care what they're talking about, but dismantling Hindutva is happening in our villages, in our towns, because we have discriminated against our own people. It's time that these barriers are broken, and it's very important. Someone is asking, how can we work together? This is the way we can work together, that if we take away these barriers, that you do not judge a human being by his birth, but by what qualities they possess. If we do this one thing, nobody can dismantle this, because this, what you call as Hindu, is the future of the world. I am saying this because today the youth in the world have become so logical, human intellect is evolving in such a way that anything that's illogical will not fly in the world. So, you do whatever, I will take you to heaven is not going to work, nobody wants to go to heaven anymore. This is the only culture which has looked at the human mechanism with such profoundness that if you present it to the world properly, this will be the future of the world, because this is the only thing that appeals to an evolved intellect, because this is not a belief system, this is the science and technology of well-being. This is the science and technology of living and liberating oneself. So this is not of the past. I want everyone to always keep this in your mind, that Sanatana Dharma is not of the past, it's not a past tradition, it's not our tradition, it's our future.
I usually hold high respect for Mr. Sadhguru. He seems to be a wise man, and he speaks philosophically. He's an educated man, but sometimes I find his knowledge about scientific issues to be rather ridiculous. For example, um, his talk on water magnet. Well, I understand that he's not a man of science, but at least he should be careful when misleading people like that. In one of his recent talks, a question-answer session, he tried to say that people shouldn't be discriminated on the basis of his birth, which is excellent. But I believe that his understanding of Hindutva is rather flawed, and this sends out a misleading message to not only Hindus but also to the world at large. I don't believe that people should be divided in religious lines, and also I don't believe that someone has to wear a certain garb or clothing to uphold himself to be a monk or a guru or an imam in any way, because I don't believe in priesthood by any definition. Because priesthood throughout history has been used as a tool of oppression. Someone who is wise should be known by his intellect and by what he preaches. So I believe that Mr. Sadhguru should bring himself out of this monk identity, although that is his choice. Mr. Sadhguru tried to portray Hindutva as the future of the world. And what is rather shocking, that he tried to portray Hindutva as the only way out for peace around the world. So that is a fascist view. I don't believe any certain dogma, any certain philosophy, any certain religion, any certain ideology should claim this, because we are living in the 21st century, and he rightly said that to our new generation's understanding of rationale and his new generation understanding abilities to analyze this present world has come to a certain level where they can't be fooled anymore. So the slightest derailment from that view should be scrutinized. The same goes for Mr. Sadhguru. Hindutva, no matter how it was perceived in history, Hindutva is a political fascist view which is full of intolerance. The proponents of Hindutva political ideology, which obviously coincided with the rise of the black shirt movement in Europe, and with the rise of fascism and Hitler and Mussolini, can't be accepted to be a norm of peace by any definition. It is an intolerant ideology where forced conversion is allowed with sweet words, where in fact cultural multiplicity is not tolerated. So no matter how Mr. Sadhguru wants to justify it, Hindutva can't claim to be the sole agency for peace in the world. So what I have found, rather, after watching many of Sadhguru's videos recently, I must say, that he tries to uphold his Hindu religious ideology in such a subtle way that he often tries to appreciate other religious leaders, but at the same time, he is no different from other religious gurus who somehow or other will try to portray his religion to be the best one. I am a Hindu by culture because I am a man of South Asia, and I'm proud of it. I believe that Islam as a religion should try to accommodate our South Asian culture, otherwise it has no space here. And I believe that this should go for any religion. But that doesn't mean that I will try to say that my certain idea should be the only answer for all the problems humanity is facing today. So I believe, I condemn rather Mr. Sadhguru's misleading view on Hindutva. Hinduism is a great religion, and it is a great religion in the sense of accommodating other religious views. But Hindutva, as we know today, and that's how any researcher would view it as, is absolutely not only against humanity, it's rather disgusting. It's a fascist view which I believe that all the Hindus should reject for the sake of their own religion. And Sadhguru was not clever enough to make a differentiation between the two. At least he could have said that the Hindutva as perceived today by political leaders or political ideologies was not the Hindutva he was talking about, but he was not clever enough to do that. So I will hold him for his words, and I will say that, Mr. Sadhguru, you are rather trying to mislead people, and this also exposes your intention to ultimately preach Hinduism as the only sole agent for peace. That is quite unacceptable, for the least.